So we have here today with us Mr. John Gilley, CEO of Kent. We were discussing how to keep talents in the business or in the companies. How can we keep them nowadays? Because last report we've seen, I think last week in the US, a lot of people are resigning. Is that an issue with the companies keeping the talents?
Yeah, so I suppose the oil and gas industry does have an image problem, and it's really one of educating people. And I think really the way to do so is to be really sure about what your purpose of your company and to be sure about the values of your company and really try and display those values and behaviors as people come into the company and attract the younger talent into the company. So at Kent, 50% of our company are either millennials or Gen Z. And those type of people really are, they have a shorter attention span. They communicate differently. They're open to communication on so many different channels. You can no longer communicate with that generation of employees by sending them an email. You have to communicate properly. You have to be open to using, let's say, Microsoft Teams that we use. We have our own internal system called WorkVivo, which is like an internal Facebook for Kent. You have to be open for Twitter, for all sorts of Instagram feeds. We've even put stuff on TikTok in Kent to try and actually interact and communicate with millennials and Gen Z people.
Yeah. Basically, you have to be younger.
You have to try and be younger. Unfortunately, I've just tipped over into whatever the other generation is, so I'm not part of that. But you have to actually engage with those people and really then look for people that are aligned with what your purpose is and really decide why it is that you're in business. And in terms of the oil and gas business, we look at energy transition as both sides because we have to continue to produce fossil fuels at the same time growing our energy transition capability, So you have to actually tell that story and ask people to say that it's better to come in here and be part of the solution rather than outside, maybe drinking from reusable Starbucks cups, throwing stones at that industry. So come in and engage and be part of the solution as opposed to talking about it.
Are we looking here for new skills in the energy sector that copes with the changes that's happening in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're talking about digitalization and AI and all of the new skills about, around the differing markets like hydrogen and carbon capture. A lot of the skills are transferable. And I guess what we don't want the younger engineers to think that we're using AI to actually get rid of jobs. What we're doing really is increasing the quality of the jobs. So we're having all of the kind of repetitive tasks done by digital and AI, and the quality of the jobs for the graduates that are coming out are at a much higher level, where we're expecting those graduates to actually be involved in designing the new tools so that we can work better, faster, stronger, and transition our energy. I mean, the oil and gas industry is at a crossroads. It's at a crucial point, and it's really at the center of what society is asking for. And it's the oil and gas companies that will play a huge role in this. So come in and engage and get involved in the problem.
How do you feel about ADIPEC this year and meeting everybody in person, gathering people from all over the world in one place to tackle these challenges that's coming up?
It's been awesome. I mean, we're all Zoom or Teams fatigued, where we've been working long hours and trying to create relationships and increase culture and talk about new initiatives and transition all behind computer screens to actually be able to come here. You've seen how busy it has been. I mean, it took me a long time to get into ADIPEC yesterday morning because it was just so busy. You're meeting people that you haven't met with for 2 years. It's just really cool to sit down and throw ideas around and form joint ventures. And what's been a huge success of ADIPEC this time is that there's lots of smaller technology companies that are here. So they're teaming up with companies like Kent or companies like the oil companies to actually figure out how we can actually get about energy transition in a clever way. And that's really beneficial for everybody. It's beneficial for the oil companies, beneficial for companies like Kent, and it's a great benefit for the technology companies as well.